Today we are going to be starting actually a new unit, and let me share with you my screen. Okay, yes, we're going to be talking about art, and this is one of my favorite topics. It's really interesting. So maybe you've seen the video or not, but tell me, what kind of art is this, the first one? You can answer in the chat. All right. What kind of art is the first one? Right. Now, for some reason, yep. Okay. Martin, are you with us? Can you give me a thumbs up? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Yes, you're right. It's a painting. Good. So it's a painting. All right. There. All right. It's a painting. You can also say it's a portrait. Okay. Whenever you draw or paint somebody's face, okay, it's a portrait. The next one, sculpture. All right. What do you call it when you paint a picture of yourself? That's called a self-portrait. And now, the million-dollar question right here. What is this kind of art? Now, it doesn't look very familiar, right? I didn't know about it until I got to this part of the book in the unit. This is called installation art. Let me show you that photo. Yeah, can you see? Installation art. What is installation art? Can we get some possible answers in the chat? Think about it. What does it look like? Yep, I think this question is too much for many of us, right? Yeah, only art experts know about installation art, but it's actually a kind of art that goes in a room, right? Let me show you more examples. So it can be multimedia, right? It can be a mix of different kinds of art, like sculpture or light in this case. It could even include sound or shadows, noise, music, and the craziest part, it could even include people, right? That's right. The artist sometimes can be inside the piece of art and interacts with it or with the people watching, right? So it's very out there, very, very unique and creative, right? Take a look at this other one right here. It takes up a whole room, right? And then we got this one right here, which is the one that is mentioned in the book, right? Right at the beginning of 7B, in the book, it asks you to choose which you think are pieces of art. And if you see this at first, you're like, okay, this doesn't look like the traditional kind of art, right? But it is. This is actually a self portrait, but in the form of an installation art of the artist. So the artist was asked to make some kind of work reflecting herself, and she came up with this. Now, what does this look like to you? How does it make you feel? Can we get some responses? You can answer in the chat. What does it look like? How does it make you feel? You can answer with the same expression that I'm using. It looks like, yes, it looks dirty, right? It looks like a messy or a dirty room. Exactly. So that's right there and then the grammar that we're going to be going over today, right? The senses, right? It looks, it sounds, it feels, and then what are the rules when you're using those expressions with like, as if, and as though, all right? We're also going to be looking at movement, vocabulary, place and movement, right? Like up and down, to, away, etc., right? Off, across. But then others that are not so easy, right? For example, above and over, right? These two seem to be very similar, but which one would you use for for number 1A, B, and C? For example, she lives in an apartment above a store or over a store? Can we get an answer in the chat? Which one sounds better to you? Okay, over a store, right? And the actual answer is both, right? You can say both, above a store or over a store. Or in a few minutes, we'll be flying over this city. Or the plane flew above the clouds. Right? So this activity is page, let me see, page 164 of your book. And you're given two choices, all right? So make sure that you do this if you haven't already after today's session. And then later, when you have finished all the activities, you will be getting the answer key in the platform, all right? So you can check. There's also going to be a forum in the platform that they are adding right now. I don't know if it's already working, but they are going to be adding a forum. So then you're going to be able to ask me questions in the platform, and I will be answering them right there, okay? But you guys also have my email address, okay? So you can always ask me questions there too. All right. So that is part of the vocabulary that we're going to be doing in this unit. Now let's take a look at the grammar, okay? So like I told you, for the grammar, we're going to be focusing on the senses and sense verbs. So let me share my screen one more time. We got Martin only, right? Martin, you got 4 teachers, 3 teachers just for you. Okay. So can you guys see that? Can you see my screen? Just to double check, please. Thumbs up. Great. Okay, thank you. So a lot of people sort of like get angry, including myself, when, you know, before, when I didn't understand art so much, I would see something like this and I would like say, what is this? This is not art. You know, people say it looks as if it doesn't require expertise. Anybody can do this. I can do that. So what is so special about that, right? Well, again, that's opinion, right? But take a look at the construction of here, right? Installation art looks as if it does not require expertise. Okay? So there is a rule actually, okay? So let's take a look at the rules of how we use all of these expressions, okay? Well, first, we got the senses, right? We got 5 senses: hear, see, smell, feel, taste. Sometimes we also include seem, right? And in this case, there, you know, you can not only use them with can, right? You can use them as any verb, right? But all of these examples are, you know, done with can, right? I can hear a noise downstairs. Well, can you see the blue circle? I can smell something burning. I can feel a draft. And I can't taste the garlic, right? That would be the usual use of sense verbs. You don't only use them with can, all right? You can also say, I taste the garlic, all right? Okay, then we have these sense verbs with an infinitive or a gerund, all right? So I heard the girl play, or I heard the girl playing. So in this case, the difference is that with the infinitive, you saw or heard the whole action. However, with the gerund, this is in progress at the moment, or it was a repeated action happening again and again and again and again, right? This is all on page 151, okay? And you have all of this in your book, all right? And then finally, we have the part that confuses people sometimes, and is the fact that after an adjective, right? After just the sense verb, you use an adjective. After the sense verb with like, you use a noun. And after the sense verb with as if or as though, you need to use a clause, a whole clause, right? So for example, you look tired, right? That's an adjective, that's number 1. When you say like, you need to use a noun. You look like your mother, or you look like a musician, or something like that, right? A noun. And then as if, you look as if, right? Or she looked as if she had been crying. Or you look as if you are very tired, right? That's what a clause is. It's a complete sentence, all right? So you cannot say you look, for example, she looked, she had been crying, right? You cannot use a clause after just that. It needs to be just an adjective. Like is a little flexible, right? Because you can say you look like your mother. You cannot say you look like tired, right? Maybe you look like a tired person. And what you can say is also a complete clause after it. You look like you are a musician, right? A complete sentence. or you look like you are an artist, since we're talking about art. So make sure that you check page 151, all right? And finally, we have seem, right? So you seem worried. And there is a rule right here that we follow. For number one, you follow with an adjective, right? You seem worried, you seem happy. After number two, an infinitive, you seem to be, right? Or this waiter seems to have made a mistake, to be making a mistake. And then finally, number three, a noun or as if or as though plus a verb phrase. For example, it seems as if every time I wash the car, it rains, right? Notice that if you're using as if and as though, it becomes a lot more formal, and you want that. You want at this level of AS2, you want to sound more formal, especially in the writing part, when you're writing your paragraph. So, in the chat, can you take a look at the bed again, right? The installation art, and we have a sentence right here. Can you complete it with the correct sense verb? Can you tell us, Martin, or if there's anybody else in class? Can you write it in the chat? Okay. Oops. Accidentally pressed. So you got the answer for the first one. I mean, the bed is something that you look at and you think, yeah, that, what's the next one? Looks as if, can you say looks as if my bed in the morning? Or that looks at my bed in the morning? That looks like my bed in the morning? Or that sees? That sounds so bad. So the correct answer is yes. Good, Martin. That looks like. There we go. It looks like my bed in the morning. After like, you need to use a noun, right? So can you say it looks like dirty? Dirty is an adjective, so what would be better? It looks like dirty, it looks dirty, or it looks as if dirty? Yes, good. So now you found your own error. Good job, Martin. Yeah, dirty is an adjective, so you need to use an adjective. Looks dirty, or it looks terrible, it looks beautiful. All adjectives. Right? Okay. So you have an activity on page 68, which is grammar. Activity 2A, make sure that you go to the book and that you do that now. It should make a lot more sense to you, okay? So after the meeting today, you can do that, all right? You also have the grammar bank, which is on page 164, if I'm not mistaken, okay? And, no, it's 151, sorry. 151, so this is an error. Go to page 151 and do the activity there, okay? And also the workbook activities. All right. Oh, we got Naomi here. Hi, Naomi. Naomi, I'm recording this, okay? So you will be able to see the whole session in the platform, okay? So you won't be able to participate interactively, right? But you will be able to see everything. We are doing unit 7B. Now I want to hear you. So I hope you guys are not shy today. So you've been very shy. I'm gonna unmute you and give me your opinion about art. Do you guys like art? What kind of art do you like?
I like music, teacher.
Me too. What kind of music do you like?
Well, I like many styles of music, but what I like the most is jazz music.
And now tell me, how does music make you feel? The kind of music that you like?
It makes me feel happy.
You can also use the grammar by saying, for example, I don't know, I like Adele. Her voice sounds so sweet, for example, right? So by saying her voice, let me write it in the chat, okay? I'm using the new grammar. Her voice sounds sweet, right? So sound is a sense verb. And since I'm not using like or as if, I need to use an adjective. Sweet is an adjective, okay? So who's your favorite singer and how do their voices sound to you? Oh, really? Wow. That's not from your generation, Naomi. Stevie Wonder. But he's great. Yes, good. His style sounds very original. Great. Sounds is a sense verb, right? And very original is an adjective. Very good. What would you say about his style with sounds like, for example? His music sounds like. What can you say after that? You can say whatever you want, but it has to be grammatically correct. Any ideas?
No, teacher.
What was the rule? What comes after sounds like? We just went over that in the grammar. It's a noun, right? It has to be a noun. So what could be a noun, right? His music sounds like pop, for example, right? His music sounds like pop. Oh my God, I keep writing to, wait, I meant to write to everybody. His music sounds like pop, right? Or you could combine an adjective with a noun. So his music sounds like happy music, which is true, by the way, right? We have the adjective and the noun. You cannot just say his music sounds like happy, right? You would just say his music sounds happy. And what about as if? His music sounds as if. What needs to go after that? Martin knows that because he was in the grammar part. Any ideas? Or what grammatical form comes after that? Okay, a sentence, right? A clause. You need to have a complete sentence. For example, you cannot say his music sounds as if happy, or his music sounds as if happy music, right? All of those are incorrect. You need to have a complete clause. What's a clause? It has a subject and a verb. It's a complete sentence. It's a complete idea and it can stand on its own, right? So you can say his music sounds as if he is a happy man. Okay, I'm just thinking of a very easy example. Right? His music sounds as if he is a happy man. He is my subject. Is my verb. I have a complete idea, a clause. All right. This is the grammar for Unit 7B. All right. Make sure that you go to page 151 and check it out. Okay. So now, let me show you some. I'm going to show you other kinds of installation art, and I want you to react, okay? I want you to tell me your real opinion. And this is fun because, I mean, there's no right or wrong opinion. Your opinion is your opinion, all right? And hold on a second. Okay, so I'm gonna open up. Some of them are really crazy, all right? I'm gonna open them up and I'm gonna share my screen. And in the chat, I want you to react by saying it looks like, and it looks as if. Let me write that in the chat, okay? So you're gonna write it looks like, or it looks as if, or as though. Though in this case is just like as if, okay? It looks like, and it looks as if. Let me share the first one. So, what does that look like? This is real, by the way. You can write it in the chat. Good. It looks confusing, right? Yes. If I were walking down that hall, because it's a hall, I would tumble. I would be like, you know, lose my balance almost and maybe fall down because the perspective is very confusing. Good. It looks confusing. How about this one? What does this look like? Wait, Naomi was saying it looks as if she's walking inside a notebook. Yes. Good job, Naomi. Good use of as if. You have a complete sentence. It looks as if she's walking inside a notebook. Good job. Take a look at this one. And you see a person right there, so you can tell how big this is. It's huge. Fills up a whole room. What does that look like to you? You can't see? Really? Oh no. Sorry. Let me go back. Can you see it now? Show me a thumbs up if you see. It's supposed to be red. with a bolt at the bottom? Okay. So what does that look like? This is the person that I was telling you about. Somebody is at the museum. Yes, good. It looks like a rain of keys. It looks like a boat. Good. Yes, it's so strange, right? Can you imagine the work putting all of this up? All right, let me show you another one. Can you see that? Okay. What does that look like to you? Do you know the name of that in English? Yes, good. Naomi's saying it looks like a rainbow made by many yarns or of many yarns. Good, it's a loom, right? That's actually a loom, a real loom, I guess. But what's interesting is that it gives you the idea that it's making a rainbow and the rainbow is going to the sky, right? So that's the symbolic part. How rainbows could be made on Earth. You know, the interpretation can be just as creative and as crazy as the art piece itself. Just out of curiosity, do you like this kind of art? What's your opinion about it? Do you like it? Don't worry if you say no, because I guess you can tell that I like it. I like it a lot. But it's okay if you don't. To be honest, I didn't used to like it. In the past, I used to hate it. All right, Naomi likes it, right? And these are really like not not my favorite. Let me show you one more that I'm really crazy about because I think it's like so good. Let me close these. I'll show you one more, okay? Oh, I can't choose. They're so cool. All right. I'm guessing this one. This one's like really modern and it will give you a different idea of the variation. So take a look at this one. Can you see it? Okay. What's your opinion about this? What does it look like? What does it look as if? This you can tell it has multimedia, right? Good. Naomi says, it looks like a light spiral. Exactly. It's supposed to be three-dimensional, right? Martin says, I don't like this kind of art. I like sculptures or paintings. Yes. Good. Good. So it looks like a light spiral. It looks like a projection. Yes, very good. Both a light spiral and a projection are nouns. And after looks like, you need to use a noun or an adjective with a noun. Great. Good job. Okay. Now, let's see, how are we with time? Okay. Yes, we have a couple of more minutes to talk a little bit more. So let me ask you a couple of more questions. Let's see, let me go to the communicative function video. You're going to be asked to make a recording. Okay, so let me show you that. Let me share that with you. All right. Can you see my screen? All right. These questions are on page 73 of the book, and it asks you about your opinion, right? About your favorites. Who is your favorite artist? What do you appreciate about this artist? Or what do you believe is the greatest source of inspiration for artists? Do you think that certain types of art are more valuable than others? Do you go to museums or art galleries? Do you think artwork should be kept in museums or art galleries instead of people's homes? Right. So all of these questions are great conversation questions, oral exam questions, and even paragraph writing questions. And they will definitely appear on your exams. So can I hear, or can I see some of your answers in the chat? Okay. For example, let's do number 2. We already talked a little bit about your kind of art. Talk about number 2. What do you believe it is the greatest source of inspiration for artists? Is it the environment, people, other artists? What do you think? Good answer, yes. Martin says he thinks it's a little bit of all, combination of all, the environment, people, and other artists. Many artists, Naomi says, many artists are inspired by personal experiences. Excellent. That's not even one of the choices. Excellent. Definitely. All right. Okay, so all of these are in the video, okay? If they're not in the platform, they will be there soon. This is all in your books, okay? And I know that, you know, talking here in Zoom, it's really not the same. So what I want to recommend to you guys is to do what the video says. Make a voice recording on your phone answering these questions, right? Why do I recommend this? Well, first of all, very few people have somebody who speaks English at home. If you have somebody at home who speaks English and who wants to talk to you about this, go ahead. That's the best way. Or maybe your friends, your classmates, you can send each other WhatsApp voice messages, talking, right? Because language is spoken, all right? If you don't do any speaking, you're gonna start forgetting it. So you need to practice. Another reason why I strongly recommend making voice recordings on your cell phone is because it's so easy, it's so cheap, right? If you don't like it, you can delete it and do it again and again. When you finish it, delete it and nobody has to listen to it. But like I told you before, the TOEFL exam, which is an international exam, has a speaking part. And the TOEFL is internet-based, computer-based. You take it by yourself with a computer, right, at the CCPA. And the speaking part is just like that. They ask you a question, they give you 15 seconds to think, and then they give you 40 or 45 seconds to respond. And that's it. They record your response, and then that's it. It's sent to the United States, and they evaluate it, and based on that, they give you a grade. So imagine how nervous you would be. So that's very good practice for you. Record yourself 1 minute. You have to keep talking for that whole minute. Try to say as much as possible, and then listen to yourself, and then try to pick up your errors. Like, why did I say that? No, that's not right. That's an error. I know that's an error, so why am I saying it, right? That's called monitoring yourself. When you listen to what you're saying, and then you make a self-correction. That can help you tremendously, right? The next part that I want to focus on for the last part is the writing, okay? So let me go back to my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Wait, now I can't. Hold on. Let me close all these useless tabs. All right. So can you guys see that? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, thank you. So this is a possible paragraph topic for your exam. And you know you have to write 3 paragraphs, right? And this is probably one of the easiest questions you could get. What are your favorite kinds of art? And obviously you would write about 3. So you could choose 3 of these. Talk about portraits or landscapes, still life, self-portraits, installation arts, sculptures, like Martin said, right? Music, like Naomi, right, was saying. And you're gonna have to write 3 paragraphs like this. Take a look at this paragraph right here. You can take a screenshot, right? This is in the video and it will be in the platform if it's not there already. But just in case, take a screenshot so you can see it. It's not such a great paragraph, but it has the structure that we are looking for, right? It starts with the topic sentence, right? The topic sentence right here will answer the question, right? Will tell me which is my one kind of art that I like. So music is a kind of art I thoroughly enjoy without a question, right? So my second paragraph will be about sculptures, and my third paragraph will be about, I don't know, architecture, all right, and buildings. Talk about 3 distinct kinds of art. Now in this one, I'm only going to focus on paragraph 1 on music. So the first reason why I like music, give me the reason, and give me an example. Then give a second reason why music is kind of art that you like, give an example of that, And then finally, a concluding sentence. Now, for me, a concluding sentence is complete when it repeats the topic sentence and it summarizes both of your reasons, right? Notice that I am also using the grammar, right? For example, listening to music relaxes me when I'm driving and I feel as though the traffic does not affect me as much. Or listening to music I used to hear when I was a child makes it seem as if I was taken back, right? So I'm using the grammar of the unit in the paragraph. So you guys, we are going to be just about an hour today. You should be spending at least 2 more hours this week on English, okay? So do the voice recordings, write paragraphs, okay? We are gonna meet again on Saturday. So if you want, you can send me your paragraphs on Saturday during the meeting or by email too, and I can give you some feedback. As soon as we have the forum, you will be able to do that there too, all right? Let me come back. All right, just in case you don't have it, let me write my email again. Teacher Claudio Leon. And my email is CLEONPY, Claudio Leon PY, @gmail.com. All right. And finally, after doing the voice recording, okay, do as many as you can, right? After writing some paragraphs, I strongly recommend that you read, all right? Read in English, read for pleasure. That will help you increase your vocabulary, improve your grammar, all right? Exercise your brain. Do we have any questions? We still have some time. Any questions about today's grammar, about today's vocabulary?